Welcome to Group 26. I'm going to record this session for the new people coming into the industry. If you're coming in from school and you're a new licensee, what I'm going to discuss right now is basically going to determine your success in the business. Now, I know there is a confusion sometimes when people join the industry, and the confusion is normally, with the mindset moving from being an employee working for somebody, and suddenly you need to basically launch your own business, and you're building a career in real estate. Now, building a career in real estate is all about knowing what to do ahead of time, and it's just like anything else. If you want to be highly successful, you need to be fully committed. You need to be consistent and persistent with what we teach. So I'm going to go over this slide right now, and I want to show you specifically what's going to make you extremely successful. When you start with your career, the important things, and how to start this as a business, as a real business. So let's go over all the slides. First and foremost, we're going to talk about working warm leads versus cold leads. Obviously, warm is easier, which means you need to build yourself a list, and we'll talk about how to do that. Prepare to invest in your list. Make sure you grow the list all the time. That's basically, the major part of your business is going to be building a list of contacts, people that you already know. Okay, know your plan and execute it. Know exactly what you're going to do with the list, and make sure that you follow through. Okay, be and stay organized. Consistency is the key to success. You have to prepare yourself to call, role play. You need to know what to say, and you need to prospect daily. Now, let's talk about how everything is going to be done right now when you start your career. So first of all, make sure you watch all the videos that we have, and in addition to that, you want to start getting in action. So how to get in action is basically explained in this video as well as other beginners videos. Okay, warm versus cold. I want you to know less than 10% of real estate agents are top producers. Less than 10%. So we have about 10% of the agents are making 90% of the money that's being made in the industry. Okay, the money is being made in this industry. 90% of it always goes to the same people. And when you go to Mike Ferry events and you meet our producers doing 100 deals plus, you're going to see that all of them, okay, with no exception whatsoever, focus on growing their sphere of influence list and their past clients list. Okay, it's their top priority. They talk about it all the time. Every time somebody that does 100 plus deals goes on the stage to talk about his business or her business, they always say that more than 50% of their business is coming in from that list. Okay, now it's obviously easier to predict your income when you know the list, because we have the ratios, and the ratio is 10 to 1. Now, what do I mean by that? 10 to 1 means that for every 100 leads you have in your list, that you're going to do specifically what I teach you to do with that list. If you follow through and you do what all these top producers are doing, you will get 10% in business. So if you have 100 people on your list, you're going to do 10 deals a year just from that list alone. Okay? Now, you have to be proactive, okay? And you have to ask for referrals, which is part of what we're going to be doing when we call the sphere of influence. Okay, so you're going to have a sphere of influence list and a sphere of influence script that we're going to follow specifically to make sure that you present yourself professionally and that you start getting leads and you start getting business from those people that you already know. Okay, you have to build value, bring value, to the table. Bringing value to the table every time you call your sphere of influence. So you're not just calling the same people with the same script all the time. As a matter of fact, you're going to call them 4 times a year. Okay, I'm going to talk about in a second what to do with the list. But you have to bring value every time you converse with these people. You're going to bring some value to the table, and I'll explain to you how to do that. Okay, now you have to keep feeding the list, and you have to be consistent. Now, what do I mean by feeding the list? You have to grow that list all the time. Every person you meet from now on, okay, every single person you meet, try to take people's business cards so you can have all their information. You can put it straight into your spreadsheet. But in general, if you don't get a business card from them, make sure you have their name and phone number and email address of every single person you meet from now on, because that is your gold mine right there. Now, you need to invest in your list. First and foremost, you need to take it seriously. Okay, I'm trying to teach this to every single agent coming into the industry, and I see a repetitious of mediocrity. A lot of people come into a class, they listen, they learn what needs to be done, but then when it comes to getting action, they don't do it. So first and foremost, you need to snap out of it and just do it. All you need to do is just sit down and write all the phone numbers, write down the names, phone numbers, and email addresses of everybody that you know. If you don't have their email address, just write their name and phone number. If you don't have their phone number, just write their name and email address. You don't know their phone number or email address, just write down their names. Because what we're going to do is we're going to start finding their phone numbers and email addresses, and that is something you have to focus on. You need to consider that is your absolute main income source in this business. So snap out of it and just do it. Okay? Now put everyone you know on the list. Okay? Yes. Also those that don't live in New Jersey. Okay? Because they need to know that you're in real estate. Every person you know have to know that you are now a real estate agent. Okay? And we'll do that with the script when you call them. But everybody needs to know from now on in, every single person you meet, everybody that you already met in your life, anybody that, your sphere of influence, you have to make sure that everybody knows that you're in real estate, and you will start getting leads just from that list alone, people that trust you. Okay, so keep on a spreadsheet and organize it. Keep a spreadsheet just like I showed you. There is a specific video that explains to you how to organize your leads, okay, and how to build a spreadsheet. So look at that video, search for it, look and watch that video a couple of times, and that's exactly what you need to do. Be organized and prepare a spreadsheet. All right. Now you need to commit basically quarterly, and your quarterly commitment is to every single quarter you need to call everybody on your list. Okay. Let's say the first month. Let's start from January. January, you're going to call your leads. In February, you're going to mail them something like hard copy mail. You can send at the beginning. You can send your business cards. Later on, you can do some postcards. You can do a newsletter. You can do anything, basically different mails. You can send them holiday postcards and whatnot. And the following month, you're going to send them an email. So every single month, you contact that group of people. All right. And you contact them 12 times a year. 4 times you call, 4 times you send them mail, and 4 times you send them an email. Okay. And you need to bring value to the table, meaning every time you call them, you need to call them with something. For an example, if I call George, hey George, Ron Biederman, Group 26, how are you? Listen, George, I'm at work right now. Just wanted to let you know, we found an incredible deal. It's a house you can buy for $150,000, and if you renovate it for about $35,000-$40,000, you can flip this property and sell it for about $300,000. Who do you know right now that wants to invest in real estate that this deal might interest him? Okay, that is bringing value to the table. Okay, or I can call George and say, hey George, I wanted to let you know that properties in Inglewood, where you live, went up in value 2.5% in the last 3 months. I thought that you should know about that. That's bringing value to the table. So always give them news. Okay, hey George, I just want to let you know that the interest rate dropped another 0.5 point. Who do you know that wants to buy a property? Okay, and ask for referrals. So if I call my sphere of influence, those that I know best, my best friends and closest family members, when I call them, I'm going to ask each and every one of them to give me 10 names of the people they know best. Everybody have at least 10 people they know best and they're in contact with almost on a weekly basis. I want those names from the closest people to me. So if you have, let's say, your own 10 close people, and each one gives you 10 names of people, now you have 100 people on your list without all the rest of the people that you already know. So I don't want to hear people come back and say, Ron, I don't know anybody. Because you must know somebody, unless you were born yesterday. You got to know at least 100, 200, 300 people. If you know 100 and you call 10 of them that are the closest to you, now you have 200 people on your list. Okay, so I would say the minimum amount of people that you should have on that list before you start calling them. Okay, before you start calling them, you should have at least between 100 to 200 people on your list, and then we're going to start making phone calls. All right, and when you call your list, you're going to always ask for referrals by asking the simple question, hey George, by the way, who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate in the next 10 days? Okay, you're going to always ask that question. Now, grow your warm list. You need to plan and execute daily. Plan ahead. Know exactly what you're going to say. Know exactly who you're going to call every single day. Okay, you need to know what to say ahead of time, meaning you need to learn the scripts and dialogues. You have to have that memorized. All the scripts, you need to memorize them. You need to know them inside out, and that's going to make you look professional. And you could be very specific when you make these phone calls instead of taking that call and being all over the map. When you call somebody and they start talking about the kids and the last time they went to the city and the last trip and the last movie they watched, you can have a conversation. Instead of taking you 2 minutes, you can spend easily half an hour on the phone with one contact, which makes no sense because you're trying to make as many contacts as possible. It's a numbers game. Okay? The more people you call, the more money you're going to make. Always meet new people and build relationships. Every single time you go to a networking event, every party you go to, every time you go out and you meet new people, all the time ask for their name, email address, and phone number to keep them posted in regards to real estate. Everybody wants to be notified when something happens in the real estate market. Okay, from now on, everybody you meet should know that you're doing real estate. Always have business cards in your pocket, always hand out your cards and take in return their information or their business card. Add names to the list. Every person you meet needs to go on that list. And then you're going to start doing the same quarterly thing that you do with everybody else. You're going to add these names to the list every single time you meet a new person. You need to take this very seriously, guys, because you might think right now, I don't want to do this. I just want to call, I want to call people. I want to maybe advertise and get people that I don't know. It makes no sense to me. If you're devoted to your career and you believe in yourself and you know that you're going to help a lot of people, why don't you help the people that you know? First and foremost, call everybody that you know, okay? Because they care for you and they will give you business even though right now you might think that they won't. Everybody you know should know you're doing real estate, because when they are being asked by someone if they know anybody in real estate, your name should pop up, and that's how you're going to start getting a lot of business, okay? So add names to the list on a regular basis. Ask for names from your closest sphere, and get on social media and work the social media to grow your list. Don't just go on social media, like I see a lot of agents do. They just post listings and stuff. Don't do that. Try to connect with people and get to know who they are so that you can add these people to your list, okay? Also do the same thing on LinkedIn. Facebook, LinkedIn are the best to start building your sphere of influence list. All right, if you wish to do cold business, what you need to know to start cold business is that cold is in addition to the warm. It's not a standalone. I don't believe in it. To do just cold business, I really don't believe in it unless you just moved to New Jersey yesterday and all of your contacts live in a different country altogether. Okay? If you live in New Jersey and you've been here for more than 2-3 years, doing just cold is not what we're going to teach you to do, and it's not what you should be doing. You should first and foremost build your list and always work warm leads before you start doing cold leads. It makes no sense to just do cold leads, and I see a lot of you guys coming into the business and all you're focusing is how to get a buyer, and how to start door knocking or cold calling instead of calling your sphere of influence. And then 2, 3, 4, 5 months later you find out that your best friend sold his house and bought 2 homes, and that your uncle just bought a property, and that your grandmother sold her house without even knowing that you're a real estate agent. That makes no sense. So always work your own leads. I continuously repeat that because that is how top producers make the majority of their money. And if you want to be successful, you want to copy exactly what successful people do, and that's exactly what they do. So when you start doing cold business, prospecting is the name of the game. Okay, prospecting is the name of the game. You need to know what to say, which means you need to learn your scripts. You got to spend time daily, every day, to chant out loud all these scripts and role play with the partner until you feel that the scripts is your main language. You need to do it every day for at least minimum your first year. Every day for the next year, you should role play your scripts on a daily basis. Should you do it every day? Yes, you should do it every day. Means 7 days a week for 12 months. You got to chant out loud and role play with the partner. If you feel that you know the script, you don't know the script. When you think you know it, you don't know it, because it's just that's the way it works. So in order to internalize the script and to make it yours, so that when you speak with someone over the phone, you're sharp and you can get appointments every single time you're calling people, you got to listen to the script CD all the time, in your car, while you're exercising, in the background when you're prospecting, when you're chanting out loud. It's always in the background, always, for your entire career. You need to listen to the script CD until you internalize it in such a way that when I wake you up at 2 a.m. and I tell you for sale by owner script, and you start chanting it. Okay? You need to subscribe to for sale by owner and expired service. To do that, go on one of those 2 websites that I put here. One of them is landvoice.com, the other one is Redex. Those are services where you can purchase for about $60 a month, more or less, 60, 70, whatever it is. You can purchase a subscription